Building reports in BI Retail is as easy as drag and drop. Let us create a simple report of store sales and profit. I first choose a basic display format from the various standard graphs and charts available. I choose a heat map graph for this report. Then, I simply drag in the store, and the figures of revenue and profit into the report area. The report shows each store as a rectangle. The two measures of revenue and profit each are represented by the size and the color of the respective rectangle. The larger the size of the store, the higher is the revenue. Likewise, the greener a store is, the higher has been its profit. I notice that this report tells me that the bigger revenue stores are the ones with the greener profit, and as the store revenue decreases, the profit too becomes less green. Now, isn't that obvious? The profit in dollar terms would be more or less proportional to the revenue in dollars. So, is there a way to get this simple report to give me more insight? Let me try a simple variant. Instead of comparing the revenues and dollar profits of each store, I will map the profit percentage against the revenues of the stores. I do not have the profit percentage as a ready field to drag into the report. However, I can create metrics as a simple formula very easily. The profit percentage is the ratio of the dollar profit over the cost of goods. I choose these two fields and right-click to see a list of options to create the most commonly used mathematical functions between two numbers. On a single click, I can now create profit percentage as the dollar profit divided by cost. I rename the newly created metric as profit percentage. Now, I simply drag the profit percentage metric onto the profit metric. And the report refreshes to display the profit percentage mapped with the revenue across stores. Now this report brings out some interesting observations. I can see that BLRly has the largest revenue, but has mediocre profit percentage. Evergrowly is much smaller in revenue, but generates the best profit percentage amongst all stores. Now let me take the analysis to the next level of detailing. I have the date field available to me in my cube. I can use this single field to generate multiple attributes of the date, like week, name, month, quarter, and year. For this example, I will create the month attribute from the date, as easily as a single click. And I have the month now available to me for a time series analysis. I am going to use this month attribute to create a time series analysis. Based on the revenue to profit percentage analysis done so far, I am keen to find out whether this correlation between revenue and profit percentage is consistent over a time period, or does it vary across months. I quickly put together a timeline graph here. I bring in both revenue and profit percentage across the month timeline. I can also correlate the two graphs, such that if I select a store on the first heat map, I see data only for that selected store in the second timeline graph. Now if I select the BLRly store, I can see the month-wise performance of revenue and profit percentage for that store. And I see a startling observation here. The graph lines of revenue and profit percentage seem to be running inversely through the months. The months where revenue has grown, profit percentage has not grown proportionately. Clearly, this indicates that the growth in revenue seems to be driven more from discounts and promotions. It is data discoveries like these, which justify the objective of adopting a BI solution. BI Retail best serves this objective through the ease of creating meaningful views of data, be it as charts, graphs, maps or simply tables of rows and columns. And further, allowing the business users to then manipulate the reports through pivoting, drilling, filtering etc., finally to narrow down to a discovery, which would prompt an action to improve business.